Alright, so Mortenax Blade came out, and I didn't realize this because I was like on American Odyssey. But I was looking at his like kit and stuff. He's really good with Acheron and Castorice, honestly. And I would really want to pull for him. Just because it would be a huge buff to both teams. Not only would it buff my Acheron, it'd buff Castorice. Because he buffs Nihilities just by existing, and then he'd buff Castorice just by existing. Let's see, activates a zone, gaining new ultimate, and enhancing this unit. The zone can frequently apply debuffs to enemies, and see, allies' attacks allow Blade to use his skill more. Wait, ally attacks allow Blade to use his skill more. Oh, so that's why Ashveil is here. Oh, okay, so that means he'll also be good in follow-up attack teams. Oh, so characters like, say, you could like put him in the follow-up attack team, like, say, like Feixiao, March, or even Moza, Ashveil, to utilize getting his skill out more. Oh, so he's actually pretty versatile. That's actually really good. What? So you can pair him up with like, what? Say, you could say, what's it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that team call would be like too good. But you could say Feixiao, March, Blade, someone like HouHou or Hyacine, or whatever sustain you have, basically. Probably HouHou or Hyacine for the healing. HouHou I'd say also for the energy regeneration. But still. Just because like Feixiao does do a lot of follow-up attacks. Same thing with March. Oh well, awful.
From the blade's edge, rebirth follows.
He has a really good idle animation. And his outfit's designed really nicely too. Red, black, and then how was that? Like brownish gold? His eyes are actually pretty nice as well. I guess he's drinking tea. I don't think that he's drinking sake. It's a really good outfit design. His M1's really nice too. And then his technique does damage. Yeah, try to activate, but it looks really nice. Oh yeah, it's off rip. Oh yeah, but but his technique doesn't activate the zone. Huh. Wait, but his both his basic attacks apply taunt, which is pretty good since he doesn't have to use a skill to apply taunt. And his skill effects does consume his HP, hits all enemies, and then bounces as well. Pretty nice. His ultimate inflicts Balefire Blind on all enemies. Then it also decreases their defense, increases their damage received. He pairs well with Cipher then, since she increases their damage received as well. to like boss enemies or just enemies with the highest HP. So it's pretty good. And then while the zone is active, he gains Infinite Fury state, which increases his critical rate, critical damage, and hence his basic attack, which is this one right here. And then also unlocks a new skill. He gains a new ultimate, and it lasts until the end of its cooldown. And then if he receives a killing blow, his zone goes down instead. And his new ultimate deals a lot of fire damage to all enemies. Okay.
They're lost. Have some sunshine.
No need. This ends it all.
This faint light.
I just want to get this out.
Destroy the sky.
Oh, I miss this world. Fight to the death.
Right, so... Oh wait, his skill cannot be used until his ultimate? So that inflicts taunt.
Flesh tempered 1,000 times into a blade. Go and fight to the death.
Okay, so use his ultimate after a basic attack does not just give him his turn back, so you have to use his ultimate then do his skill. Okay. But it still gets the taunt off.
I offer my blood to consume this. Beasts, come and slaughter each other. Sins must be paid. Go and fight to the death.
It's coming.
Alright, so he's already at 7 stacks. This also gives him a stack. That gave him a... okay.
Take hold. Go and fight to the death.
So ultimates, follow-up attacks, and also basic attacks should give him stacks each time. Getting that attack also gives him a stack.
I will guide the rainbow.
Now I can use his ultimate. He has a really nice pose.
Burn this broken shell. You will
Oh,
serve as
damn.
temporary fire.
I like that. Oh, that is beautiful. That did good damage to him too. If you could time that right, you could do an ultimate right after a follow-up, or a follow-up right after an ultimate. I think I said that the same way. You can do an ultimate into a follow-up, or a follow-up into an ultimate, either. If I do this, if I basic attack, it should just give him a stack, right? Yeah, it does. And that also gives him a stack. Okay.
Blades eternal.
Justice delayed, not denied. I like that.
I offer my blood to consume this.
Ashveil and Feixiao might be really good for him then, getting his follow-up attack up. I mean, getting his stacks up fast. Oh man, that'd be... Also Cipher then too. Oh man.
Come and slaughter each other.
It literally just depends on how fast you want to get this up.
must be paid. Return from death 1,000-fold.
Alright, so if I use my ultimate, will that give me a stack? That's my question right here.
You will serve as the temporary fire. Go. And fight to the
It does. And then, okay, alright. Alright, so if I didn't have Ashveil or Tribbie to follow up attack right after that, more Blade would have been able to clean up and get the kill himself, which is pretty nice. I like that. But more than that, I do also like his Lycon's name, Reforged in the Hellfire. That is a tough name, honestly. And also the stats it gives. Just from S1, it gives 30 HP off rip, which is nice. And then at the start of each turn, like at the start of each turn, you get to regenerate 20 energy, which is pretty nice. And then what's it? At the starts, wait, after the wearer uses a skill to attack, inflict. Wait, did I just read that? I feel like I just skipped over something. At the start of the wearer's turn, regenerate 20 energy. Yeah, this can. Okay, this effect can be triggered one time each wave. Right, doesn't mean like each. Oh yeah, like okay. So each time a new set of enemies spawn in. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. So let's see. That means he gets his ultimate up pretty fast. Okay. And let's see. After the wearer uses his skill to attack, inflict the target with Purgatory State that's lasting for 2 turns. While in Purgatory State, the target receives 30% increased critical damage and additionally increased. Wait, and 30% increased additional damage from the wearer. So they take 30% increased additional damage from like all other sources, and then also the wearer gets his critical damage increased by 30%. And then what? At S5 it goes, okay, 6% HP, then 60 critical. Okay, that's pretty good. That's like all around. That's pretty nice. I think that's how if I'm interpreting correctly, I think that's how it should be. Also, yeah, Guang's in reran, which is pretty nice. Oh, I do want to look at his Eidolons. I did not get the chance to look at them. But I do want to look at his bonus abilities. But first, I do want to look at his, like, how much crit rate does he give himself. Since I didn't actually look at that yet. So what? Gives himself 5. And then what? 5.3, 5.2. And then he gives himself another 4. Is that all? Yeah. So he gives himself 12%. Which is not that bad. But he gives himself a lot of fire. Which I did not expect. He gives himself, yeah, he gives himself a lot of fire. At 3.2, 6.4, 4.8, another 4.8, and that's crit. Yeah, himself 22% on the what's it called, fire increase, and then gives himself 10% on the what's it called, HP, which is pretty nice. And then for his bonus abilities, which are basically like the main things I like the most when it comes to the characters. I bet about that. But let's see. Heart refined at Amphibium. While the zone is active, targets deal allied allied targets deal 50% increased damage. Oh, that's wicked. What? If there are other Nihility characters aside from Blade in the team, ultimate damage dealt. Wait, but this goes for Nihility characters in general, right? So this is just for Nihility characters. If there are other Nihility characters from Blade in the team, ultimate damage dealt by allies increased by 75%. Otherwise, damage dealt by Blade additional increases by 75%. Am I understanding this correctly? So, if there are other Nihility characters besides Blade, say you have just I don't know, Pela in your team, you get to deal their ultimate deals 75% extra damage. Okay. But if you don't have Nihility characters in your team, Blade in turn has his ultimate damage increased by 75%. Okay. It's actually pretty balanced. I would like it if it was just he had his ultimate damage increased just for being with other Nihility characters. But I guess it's fair. Some balance of sorts. So it doesn't make him hard stuck to Nihility teams. Yeah, true, because like I can see that now. Because if this was just the Nihility part, then you would want to keep him with like Acheron and such. And you would want to branch him out too much to like Feixiao, Castorice. But yeah, you wouldn't want to branch him out towards like Feixiao and Castorice just because he'd be more um fit for Nihility itself. So I guess that's like fair for point. And plus, he gains his stacks faster from being with follow-up attack characters. So it pairs well. So what team will he be better with then? I guess I guess it depends on the build itself and what you would run. So what team he would probably clear faster with. Hmm. Okay, so his second one, Soul Tempered Mortem. While zone is active, increase the chance of being attacked by enemies, so he draws aggro, and he takes 50% less damage, and increase his incoming healing by 50% as well. After being attacked, inflicts Balefire Bind on the corresponding target, and enables him to gain 1 charge. It's pretty nice. Okay, so that's how he was gaining 1 charge every fight. He takes 50% less damage and gains income and gains more healing, which is pretty good as well. Then let's see. Bond hardened Miasma. I don't know how you say that. I don't know how you say that. I'm not even trying to pronounce it correctly. And Blade can automatically accumulate up to 80 energy overflow, or overflow energy. After using ultimate, it clears and regenerates a corresponding amount of energy. When the battle starts, or when the zone is dispelled, if the energy is below 75%, it is immediately regenerated to 75%. When the energy is regenerated to its maximum, dispel all debuffs from this unit. That's actually really good. Okay, so he's pretty good at like self-care. He can take care of himself pretty well, while also taking care of others somewhat. So basically, he could draw aggro. Then also he takes less damage, gets more healing, and he could deal a lot of damage as well. Because his skill is AoE, consumes HP and deals damage. Okay. And anytime he attacks or gets attacked, he gains a charge. Anytime his allies attack with an ultimate follow-up attack or basic attack or skill, he gains a stack for his own talent, which is pretty good. That's really nice. Really nice. While zone is active, an allied target uses attack on enemy, inflicts Bellfire Blind, stay onto the enemy, corresponding enemy target, and grants 1 stack. 1 stack reaches 9, and the current HP is what? Current HP is more than 1. Consume 9 charges and regenerates 25 energy and enables Mortenax Blade to use the skill 1 extra time. Okay. And he can't use his skill outside his ultimate? I still did not understand that part. This extra skill is considered as a follow-up attack. Okay. And then his Eidolons is E1. My death, I stood unmade. While the zone is active, decreased all enemies all-type resistance by 20%. They already take 50% more damage, which is pretty nice. After using these extra skill from talent, the Infinite Fury cooldown has its action delay by 15%. Okay. When an allied character uses... when an allied character uses an ultimate to deal damage, it is considered to have launched a follow-up attack, and the follow-up attack damage dealt by allied targets is increased by 75%. The upper limit of Mortenax Blade's charge is decreased to 7%. I mean 7 instead of 9. Oh, what? His E2's really good. His E2's way better than his E1 by a long shot. And then, let's see. Hearts, Refined, Amphibium. additionally increases allied targets damage dealt by 50%. What shift was that? Increases allied target dealt while in zone. Wait, so that just increases their damage dealt to 100%, right? If it's just additional? Wait, why is wait, why is he so good? Like, if I'm just like understanding this like basically, in basic terms, your ultimates do 75% more damage because it gets to be considered a follow-up attack, which that in itself is wicked. Because if my Castorice hit an ultimate and it did say like 1.3 mil damage, and then it gets an extra 75 added on to it, it does now what? Let's see, let me get my calculator. If I did 1.3 mil and then I add on 75%, that means my ultimate just went up to 2.2 mil, or 2,270, or 2,275,000. That, which is insane. That's actually pretty big. And then his in charges go down by 2, which is nice. And then damage dealt by allies is increased by 50% already without his E1, which makes it basically 3 mil. And then if I was to include his E3, wouldn't that technically make it, if I'm just adding it, wouldn't that technically just make it like 5 mil? No, wait. Wouldn't I actually have to like do, like, wouldn't I have to do multiplication while doing this? No, multiplication wouldn't make sense. I would have to do division. I was never good with math. Actually, no, I think it would be division. Would it be division? Couldn't be division. Because then this goes outrageously high. Either way, this goes outrageously high. Because, technically speaking, if I'm just thinking about this correctly, and it's at 100% damage increase just from having the E4, and then just from having, wait, the E2 is 125% damage increase, and then going up to E4 is 175% damage increase. So technically, I don't know. I don't know how to do that math correctly. I would have to have someone explain that to me. But his E6. If mortality could die, I swore them slain. I don't know if I said it correctly. As the zone persists, when Blade takes damage or consumes HP, he gains 1 charge. That's okay. This effect can trigger after the target's turn ends. The damage multiplier of 10x per annum I don't know if I said that right, increases to 150% of its original value. And which one is that? And I forget which one that is. Text for this one. Oh, his ultimate. It's ultimate. She's by 150%, so that goes up to 500%. What? He's like really good at E6. If that's the case, he's a powerhouse. So he's like, can he hyper carry? I'm confused now. I might try spinning for him. I think this is the time where I actually like lose my 50-50. I don't even know if this was helpful or not. I don't know. He's really good. I think his best teammate options, in my own opinion, would have to stem from characters like Castorice. Like I guess like main DPS if you're using him as a sub DPS. Like if you're using him as a sub DPS, I would say Castorice, Acheron, Feixiao. Um, I guess those would be your main DPS. But actually, no, Feixiao I don't even think would count as your main DPS. But I guess in a fall attack team, all of them would be your technically main DPS since they're all going to be your main output damage. Because you want them all to trigger their effects. So I guess depending on the team comp, it just depends on team comp. Because I guess depending on how you want to get him triggered faster. Because he consumes HP. And he works well with consuming HP. So you'd want him with like Castorice, Hyacine, HouHou. I'd probably just write in the description of what characters I think just go well with him, because I'm not really too good at explaining, but I know what I mean. I just can't really put it to words that well. I hope you all found this helpful. Peace out. I'll see y'all later. Have a good day. Peace.